We may be shivering, but there's one bit of Britain where things are very different. The Cayman Islands. It's a Caribbean paradise of sun, sea and cocktails. But there's something else going on. Big money.
It's one of the most secretive places on Earth, and for one very good reason.
Cayman is a tax haven.
Correct. Cayman is a tax haven.
Or is it that simple? I'm here to get the truth.
You're saying you're not a tax haven?
We're not a tax haven at all.
Is what happens here a scandal? Or is it just how the world does business, including many of our household brands?
I'm Jacques Peretti, and I want to find out, what does this place mean for all of us?
I'm coming to a secret bit of Britain, 4,500 miles away and 400 miles south of Florida. In Britain, we're obsessed with
tax evasion and tax avoidance. This is an issue whose time has come.
But on the Cayman Islands, no one pays a penny.
And for the first time, they'll be opening their doors to an outsider.
And while the beaches are much like Blackpool and the suburbs are a bit more glitzy than Slough, the Cayman Islands are well and truly British, with one big difference.
So no one pays tax here, Hyacinth, including you?
No one pays taxes. We're tax-free haven here, you know.
Cayman's the same size as Bognor, with the same number of people. It's a British overseas territory, which means they have their own government. But a British civil servant watches over them. But this Bognor-sized island has a staggering £1.5 trillion in the bank.
But for the first time, they're letting cameras in. After years of being slagged off, they want to show the world they've got nothing to hide.
I'm going to use this unique opportunity to confront the people who make this tax-free island tick.
Or could explain to me how the system works?
But you gotta please turn off the camera.
To discover what life is like for ordinary Brits on this island of the super rich.
There you go. Ready meal, no rice, $14.29.
And most importantly, to find out what effect its existence could have on our lives back home.
What's going to really happen in Britain is that you guys are going to have like a social unrest because people there are a lot different from the people here.
The first thing I need to understand is how this place works. I'm meeting millionaire businessman Marcus Cumber, whose family connections can help me unlock Cayman's secrets.
Hi there.
Marcus.
You must be Jack.
Nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
nice to meet you.
Can I get
Welcome.
in?
Absolutely. Welcome to Cayman. Well, we're in West Bay, so let's have some fun.
Marcus's grandfather ran this place when the British government first turned Cayman into a tax haven in the 1960s.
So here we are, Jack, at a school named after my grandfather. He was obviously very, very honored. The Foreign Affairs said, you know, you're going to the Cayman Islands. And of course, in those days, you had the globe, and he looked, and he looked, and he looked, and literally was a little pinpoint that said UK.
Marcus is going to show me how this little pinpoint was transformed into a paradise for big business and the super wealthy. Starting with one of Cayman's most exclusive neighborhoods.
Welcome to Vista Del Mar. This is where I'm hoping to build. We've got magnets, shipping magnets. We've got Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, the guy who owns that.
You know, some of the most successful lawyers in the world.
Of course, Marcus has bagged the best plot for himself.
6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It has a gym, has a sort of a man cave, if you want to call it. It has 3 swimming pools.
And the best thing about an oceanfront mansion,
I want to be able to walk around the property here completely naked and no one see me. I mean, so we've got the best landscapers as well.
Yeah.
We've got the same landscaper that I'll show you that did the whole of Camana Bay.
Can I walk around naked when I'm the
Absolutely,
caretaker,
if you
yeah?
wish to. The only people that should see you are people that would be in a boat happen to go by.
Right, wow.
And we'll have to dive for cover.
Cayman may be beautiful, but the world's wealthy and some of our biggest businesses, including Tesco, Barclays and BP, are here for another reason. Its financial system.
If you want to understand how Cayman works and how the whole global economy works, you need to understand one simple little word: offshore. It's a British invention, and it turns everything you think you know about money on its head.
Given the nod by a man at the Bank of England in 1958 called George Bolton, offshore is fiendishly clever. It meant that certain deals made in London would now be viewed as not taking place in London at all. For the first time, where business actually happened and where regulators said it happened could be different.
So these deals were happening nowhere at all, in thin air. An unregulated space we now call offshore.
Offshore changed everything. It's not a tax dodge. It's at the heart of how the world does business today. And the idea would become the basis of Cayman's entire existence. So how does offshore work here? Marcus wants to explain it to me.
It is an amazing lifestyle that you have here. No doubt about it that you've shown me. But to the rest of the world, to the outside world, the only reason, the perception is the only reason you can fund it is because Cayman is a tax haven.
Correct. Cayman is a tax haven. I think it's best if I just pick up a stick and just try and show you.
Yeah.
If we say the circle here is Japan, and this circle here is America, and you've got a company here that wants to buy $10 billion worth of steel over 5 years,
Right.
what will happen is, where do you make that transaction? Does it happen here in America or here in Japan? No. What happens is they come down to someone like Cayman, a neutral tax haven, and they open up a holding company.
So Cayman is providing basically the vehicle for international capitalism to work, essentially.
But it turns out that invisible business transactions aren't the only weird thing offshore in Cayman. Marcus has one last thing to show me.
Those are stingrays.
They are stingrays indeed. I'm having my Bond moment. Give this off a good shove, but we don't want to land on a stingray, okay?
Okay, I'll go with you, hang on.
1, 2, 3, go!
Whoa!
So they're having a little frenzy right now.
The stingrays coming for tasty bait remind me of only one thing: companies flocking to Cayman.
I'm going to call this one Sainsbury's, this one Tesco, that one Facebook, this one Manchester United. He can be Disney. They've all come to the Cayman Islands.
All these companies say they're not here to avoid tax and that they pay their liabilities in the UK. So is it a giant loophole in the sun? Or is it something else? What's been created here is extraordinary, but it's not the whole story. In fact, it's just the beginning.
Marcus comes from a Cayman dynasty, but there's plenty of ordinary Brits who've moved here too.
What does their life here tell us about how an economy like Cayman's works for ordinary people?
Paula,
Hey,
I'm Jack.
hi, pleased to meet you. Paul, Jack.
Hello, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Jack.
Cheers, thank you.
I'm meeting Manchester's own Paula and Paul to find out.
Come on, Paul. Yeah. Well, a fry up in the 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Are there lots of Brits out here?
Yeah, well, can you believe we moved here and then the man next door comes out and he's a Manchester United fan and we're Manchester City. So we were like, really? We've come all this way and this is what happens?
There is another reason for coming here, which is you don't pay any tax, isn't it?
No.
So was that an attraction to you?
Do you know, at the time when we came, yeah, we were paying a lot of taxes, corporation tax, all kinds of taxes. I worked for British Gas doing payroll. Paul had a construction
I had a
company.
construction company, roofing.
So has the tax-free pay packet paid off?
I mean, do you mind me asking, but how much do you earn when you're here?
Say our average weekly wage between us is
1,000.
about 1,000 CI.
About
800.
£800.
About £800 a week.
800 quid a week jointly is just over £40,000 a year. The same earnings as an average family in Britain. Paula earns it looking after cruise ship passengers, working all day on a sun-drenched island and paying no tax on it. Sounds like a sweet gig to me. But I'm about to find out. Paula's invited me to try it out for myself.
Tropicana Tours,
Green and yellow bus.
green and yellow bus.
Bus driver John.
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 I've lost my lollipop.
Right, and your schedule.
And my schedule. Oh my God.
Let's go. You'll
That's right
walk
up at the
around with
front,
that
yeah.
sign, you'll go to the back room with that sign, and 21 people will follow you.
Oh my.
So just...
I'm looking forward to that. 2, 4, 6, 7. There's a baby count. Stay with me. You're in safe hands.
You'll keep shouting, Jack.
Yeah.
Cayman's tourism industry means that on cruise ship days, 10,000 people pour off the boats looking for t-shirts and cocktails. This tiny island is rammed. But Cayman's finance industry has brought 100,000 businesses here. That's 10 for every tourist. I wonder where they all are.
5, 6, 7. Up. Start again. All right, is everyone ready for their tour?
And I'd just like to say a warm welcome to you all. And it is nice having you with us today on our little island of paradise, which is Grand Cayman. Also, Cayman is tax-free, and we have over 600 offshore banks on the island today.
Got all your belongings? Good. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great day. Is that it? Have we done it?
You've got to just make sure everyone's settled. Let's walk through. It's not the end of your day yet. Why are you tired?
So that wasn't as easy as I thought. Paula works as hard as she did back home and earns the same, but doesn't pay a penny of income tax. So surely she's much better off.
What do you need to buy?
Just something for tea. Let's have a look. It's
Front State, yeah.
Right, and we're living on the ocean. $6.79. So, which is about £4.50.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. We have got to get this.
We got, okay. All right, okay, fish fingers, right.
$11.
Okay. Shall I get?
We've got to get it.
Paul
Paul eats
Paul
his
eats those.
favourites.
Okay, right.
So,
okay.
we've got to get them.
That's £8.50 for a pack of fish fingers. Why is everything so expensive?
So you don't pay taxes, but you burn through the money at the supermarket.
Yeah, because the prices are inflated. I mean, obviously, because of the import tax, they've got to import everything, especially if you're buying British things. They're coming in on the planes and boats. But, yeah, you've got to eat, Jack, so what are you going to do?
Well, I think we'll head on out.
Definitely.
What I'm learning here is that though companies don't pay tax on profits, duty is loaded onto ordinary people's everyday shopping bill.
This is our big shop.
Yeah, oh, one thing, Jack. One thing.
Of course.
$8. What are you?
$8 for the hello. That's
Yeah.
a bargain. That's quality gossip, isn't
Quality
it?
gossip.
Gossip at a price.
At 2 weeks late.
I've worked a shift and I'm knackered.
But I've learnt an important thing about this island. Paula doesn't get taxed on her income, but she does pay taxes whenever she buys food.
So even though her pay packet is the same as when she worked for British Gas, the only way Paula's got more in her pocket is by cutting